Greetings, YouTube. I apologize for the poor lighting, but I didn't want to disturb the cat. She's very comfortable. Frances Keller has been released from a Texas prison. Frances Keller was in prison for a 48-year sentence. She served 20 years. That in and of itself isn't amazing. Americans are often given long sentences and often serve a great deal of them. The difference in this case is that Frances Keller was put into prison for a crime that she didn't commit, for a crime that didn't exist, a crime that never happened. She was put into prison for the crime, air quotes are required here, of satanically abusing a 3-year-old child and supposedly murdering other children. And we know this isn't the case because, and there's 3 points in this particular article. The child they were convicted of abusing, who was then 3 years old, has since said that no abuse occurred and that she was repeating the accusations she'd been coached and instructed to deliver. Her husband, Dan, I believe his name is still in prison. No physical or medical evidence suggests any abuse ever took place, and no physical evidence has ever been found of the graves in which the Kellers allegedly buried young children alive after baptizing them in blood. And third, satanic ritual abuse does not exist. Now, so how did this pernicious myth become a reality? Because that's what happened. Someone took a myth and forced it into the real world to the extent that people were actually convicted and imprisoned. And while she has been released, I don't know if Frances Keller has had that charge exonerated from her record. And how do you go about doing that? I'm not sure you can have that kind of thing removed from your record. So she's going to be haunted by that felony charge forever. There's a woman involved in this, and this is just one person that deals with this type of mythology. And I'm going to quote her. Her name is Liz Molinar. "All I care about, my passion, is helping survivors of child abuse," says Australian advocate Liz Molinar. But Molinar also claims to have helped more than 500 people who have been victims of satanic ritual abuse. And this story is from 2013, which is scary. This all involves recovered memories, which are not recovered; they're fabricated. This is the part that just gets under my skin. The implication that the lack of evidence of the alleged massive conspiracy of satanists, it's a hard word to say, is somehow proof of their power. So because there is no evidence of satanic ritual abuse, and because there is no proof in the existence of satanic cults themselves, and because we cannot find any criminal evidence of their activities, that for Molinar and those of her ilk, this is somehow seen as evidence of a conspiracy, rather than the simply lack of these things existing. So this is pure conspiracy theory. But it's not just armchair conspiracy theory. This isn't just people talking about we didn't go to the moon, or there were 2 shooters during JFK's assassination, or that the earth is hollow. No. This is real world mythology that has harmed people. I've spoken about this case and different types of this case before, but at least Frances Keller is now out of prison, so that's a good thing. But her record's impinged, and her husband is still in prison, as far as I know. It just stuns me that a community, any community, would allow a myth to send real people to a real prison. All because this is about tribalism. This is about creating the other when there is no other, fabricating the other, and then putting them in a public square, pillaring them, and declaring them that they are the evil cause of all the problems of the world that are being experienced by that community. And not just real problems, they even fabricated the problems. The problems that were under discussion never happened. And yet, real people doing real prison time. It's unethical, it's immoral, it's astounding. It's reprehensible. It's a legal abomination. And the people who are part of the legal system that engaged in this, I think, are the worst off. They're the worst of the entire lot involved in this. Because they used the law, they bent the law to their will to send people to prison. For what purpose? I can only imagine political gain, making their name well known, getting themselves a conviction. But it's not hard to get a conviction when you fabricate the entire crime. How can people accused of a crime that doesn't happen defend themselves? It's astounding, and it's appalling, and unfortunately, it's America.